Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands podcast. If you're joining us on the stream tonight, welcome. If you're listening to us in your ears on whatever podcast catcher you're listening to, hello, and we're glad to be coming in your ears. Tonight we are going to be talking about the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. We're going to be breaking it down, sharing our insights and all the things that we think it means, what it could mean, what it might mean, and of course the inevitable TMT OOH tangents will be in full swing. Before we get into all of that, let's do the introductions. Dan, hello.
Hiya there. How you doing?
Wave, just wave. That's why they're here. Wave, wave.
In the middle of
Duncan,
doing something.
hello.
Involve my hands.
Hello.
There he is. Look at him. There he is. And Ross, hello.
Greetings. How are we doing?
Go on, give him a quick wave. You know you want to. Just a quick one. But there we go. Brilliant. There you go. That's all you're getting. As I said, we're going to be taking a look at the GTA 6 trailer, which obviously is all over the place at the moment. And we're going to be breaking down what we think is in there. And I am not the biggest GTA fan, but I know the other three are. But I do still like the GTA games. So I'm going to hand over to someone who is a certifiable fan. Dan.
Hello.
Start us off, big man.
Okay, so for me, GTA is... I'm going to go off on a tangent and head through some nostalgia fields here. I have just realised I haven't started recording, so just quickly, hang on.
Oh, is the robot lady going to pop up on the podcast then?
It might do, we'll find out.
Recording in progress.
I think she did.
Oh,
Hello and welcome to the Gridiron Gentlemen.
Hello and welcome to the Too Much Time on Our Hands,
Too Much Time on Our Hands
podcast.
Talking about
Dan, Tom,
GTA
Ross.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight in. Okay,
Talking all over each other.
yeah. Anyway,
Rhubarb.
So for me, GTA comes with a fair amount of nostalgia. Like, I think we hit our gaming peak around the same time that 3 and Vice City came out, and also probably San Andreas. That run of those 3 games, I think, was about like when we really got into gaming. Like, we all had enough disposable income to go and buy our own PS2s.
Well, it was that sweet spot of like being old enough to be sort of good at games from like a hand-eye coordination point of view.
Yeah.
Having enough disposable income to go and buy a game when you wanted one and not having to save up for like 8 months or wait for Christmas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And having fuck all to do. And not really having lives or responsibilities.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
I know. Great, wasn't it?
Too much time on our hands.
You're very quiet, Duncan.
Oh yeah, sorry, I've had to use a different headset, and it's going through.
And so fuck levels, huh? You just...
Fuck levels. Yeah. Right. Hang
There.
on. I didn't realise the other two could hear me perfectly, couldn't you?
We can hear
We
you
had a
just
lovely
really
conversation.
quiet.
You are. I got to be, I wasn't really paying attention to you before, but yeah, you are a little low in the mix.
It's true. Dan is like the voice of God, and you are like
You guys.
You are the tiny
There
mouse.
you go. How
There
was
you go.
that?
Nice.
You literally had
Didn't hurt,
to
did
just change a dial. That's all you had to
Yeah.
do.
Well, I didn't realise it was that low.
You made it sound like we've made you made you sound like we've made you like build a house.
Dan, you've been here 5
It
minutes,
feels
and
like it.
already your rage levels are beyond compare. Like, already so angry.
I've got 5-star rating, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah. I haven't even tried to take us down a 3D printing path yet. Like, and already peaking.
Tom, let's not mention vans tonight.
No, nothing about
It's not
bands
worth
tonight.
it.
It's not. You're right. No one
There's some
wants to
new ones
fucking
on the
hear it.
market. Some new ones.
So, yeah, for me, Grand Theft Auto comes with a fair amount of nostalgia. I think those 3 games are the sweet spot for Grand Theft Auto. I think a lot of people would argue that 5 kind of knocked it out of the park, and they're probably right, to be fair. But for me, I've spent that long waiting for them to come back to Vice City, because for me, Vice City was my favourite of the Grand Theft Auto games. It nailed the 80s as well. Before, if it was released now as a game set in the 80s, I think they probably missed the mark, because depressingly, the people making it probably wouldn't know anything about the 80s because they didn't experience any of it. Whereas I think at that point, it wasn't so much the cliche version of the 80s, it was just this is the 80s. This is the Miami Vice look at the 80s.
It was like accurate movie 80s.
Yeah.
Like a bit like anything else in GTA. It's like a heightened, condensed version of something, but it has that reality that it's based on.
100%.
What also the original Vice City I can't help calling it the original Vice City. But what Vice City also did was really bring the soundtrack, and that was also a way that Rockstar made I was going to say Roadrunner, but Rockstar made a lot of money as well, because they released each radio station as it wasn't a complete playlist, but it was most of what they played on the radios, and that was a genius thing. That radio always, it was great. The stations you could select through, they were funny, and the music was really good. So yeah, I agree. Complete nostalgia. It was a game that I would fall asleep to. I could play it, fall asleep, and then wake up and pick up. It was brilliant.
Because each radio station had a great playlist, so you can just sit there with your car pulled up, just listening to the radio,
drive around.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the fun of Grand Theft Auto, is that everyone's going to have a different experience because you do different things in it. Like, some people are just like rigidly going to try and complete it, and some people are literally just going to drive around. And what is great about these games, and Rockstar know this because they have made a fair amount of money, is
just a little bit of money.
The humor is generally on point. It never feels cliche. It never feels like they're trying too hard, even though they are definitely 100% in on the joke. It always feels fresh, and that stayed throughout GTA 5 as well. And I think part of that is because Rockstar are trendsetters rather than trend followers. So, like, Rockstar release something and it becomes a meme rather than Rockstar making a whole game on memes. Now, this is where it gets a bit weird, because GTA 6 is the trailer is heavily based on, like, TikTok videos and memes and things we've seen based around Florida. So they've set themselves a challenge of do something new and interesting, and actually play off what is in social media nowadays as well. And I think that is brave, to say the least, because they don't need to do anything. Yeah, go on.
Is it Florida or is it Miami?
I mean,
well, it's neither, really. I think there is a name for the state that you're in. So it's a bit like San Andreas is the state that's the equivalent of California. So there's no Miami and there's no Florida, but there is an equivalent in these places.
I mean,
so basically
Miami is Florida, right? My geography is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But,
so Miami is in Florida, in the real world.
Yeah.
But Vice City.
I mean,
I was wondering when someone was going to ask me that, because I was like, if I ask this question, are they going to answer earnestly, or are they going to tear me to pieces?
No, because in Vice City, the original one, that is in Florida.
And it's an island. It's 2 islands joined by 2 bridges or 3 bridges.
Well, yeah,
I reckon I could still drive around that without a map. By the way,
I
reckon the original Vice City. This new one, probably not.
But if you were to put all the GTA maps together into like a map of their version of America, it would just be this weird series of islands. Yeah. Like they're only islands for gameplay purposes.
Yeah,
because you have to end the map somewhere, and it's either an island or you have an impenetrable wall of mountains or something on around the edge.
So
the thing, I mean, this is from the trailer itself. They've properly compacted everything I suppose people might picture of Florida or Miami. Like, you've got the strip, you've got the islands as well, which would also be looking very much like the Florida Keys, and then you've got the Glades, which aren't necessarily next to Miami. Airboats.
We are definitely going to get the that's going to be fun. There's definitely going to be a hunting sim in this one. No question.
My real hope is, and there's nothing to base this on, but I really hope you get to blow up the bridge to the Florida Keys using a Harrier jump jet like Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies.
What I like about it is the trailer this is Vice City, right? And Vice City is essentially Florida through the eyes of social media.
Mm-hmm. Or is it Miami?
It's Vice City, Tom. It's not Miami.
Okay,
but it is. Yeah, it's why it's not just the city. You see shots of like countryside areas and things like that. There's no official map been released yet. There's loads of them buzzing around on Reddit and stuff, but they're just things that people have photoshopped together.
Didn't they get away with this and not include a giant theme park, by the way?
No,
But I mean, I feel like most of it hasn't been in there yet. I mean, this is only the first trailer. This is like the overall world setting one. There's probably going to be, you know, if it follows the same sort of pattern as GTA 5, there was further trailers for each individual character and a couple of other ones, weren't there?
I would quite like to go on a killing spree. This sounds really bad. In Grand Theft Auto, I'd quite like to do something a bit silly in like a Disneyland knockoff.
Is it going to come, do you reckon, with a first-person setting from day one?
So if you look at the trailer, there's a bit where they bust through one of the doors and it's in first person.
It would feel like they're
day one
removing stuff from it if it doesn't include a first-person mode. And it's not. Speaking as a seasoned game developer, it's not that much of an addition. Like obviously, it most of the work in that is getting the camera and the controls to work properly. Because ultimately, you're just repositioning the camera to where the player model's eyes are. Except you're not really, because scale's all weird in games.
I mean, it was.
Can we see your game development CV quickly?
Yeah, I hand coded a copy of that. You know that brick bat blaster thing where you bounce the ball up and down.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Couldn't tell you how to
I used to call that shipbreaker.
Yeah.
Because I always used to play on the toilet.
But you know what I mean? It's not like building a whole extra. You know, it's not like adding multiplayer to a single player game or something like that. It's a tweak rather than something else. So it'd be weird if that wasn't included.
But what I liked about the first person thing was that they nailed it as well when they introduced 5.
I don't know, they put the effort in.
Yeah.
Like animations are different. The models for arms and hands and weapons are all different in first person. The cars are more detailed. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Very clever. It kind of felt like I don't know if you ever played Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, where you could switch between old graphics and new graphics. That was kind of what it felt like. Playing GTA 5 in first person felt like pressing that magic button that takes you to new graphics, and it was just like, oh my god, everything is completely different.
Felt kind of impossible as well.
Yeah, it did.
That's the only thing I'll say.
Oh my god, I'm on the ground.
Yeah,
it was harder in first person because it's ultimately not designed as a first person game. So like the cover mechanics are really difficult to use in first person.
Whereas Red Dead kind of nailed it, I thought, like first person. So I would imagine it will be more that than GTA 5. But yeah.
But you know, they've had 10 years of thinking about this since GTA 5 came out. So you know, I'm sure there's going to be some other ideas. And a bit like GTA 5, most of the cool stuff is going to be things that nobody's actually thought of and weren't in the trailers.
There was obviously, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 was in development for a long time. I just don't think Rockstar are the kind of... Rockstar have enough self-awareness to know what they're doing to not release something that isn't finished or polished to almost a mirror shine.
Both their last big... So Red Dead 2 and GTA 5 were both heavily delayed, weren't they, by nearly a year in both cases?
Yes.
They don't... It's not like they're going to go under if they don't hit a certain release window. We've only got 400 billion squillion pounds. We're just going to have to limp on for another few months.
They've got more money than Valve.
Yeah.
Do you think that they saw an uptick in people playing GTA 5 this week as well because they released a trailer for the next one?
Well, I've started going back to GTA 5, so yeah, they almost certainly have.
Yeah, I've reinstalled it, started playing it again on the Xbox.
They will probably be, you know, getting new people playing it because there'll be new gamers coming through who probably haven't played GTA 5.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, people
they'll want to know what all the excitement is, and people download it, and then they'll still people getting back online doing the online stuff again.
No, I never got into that. But yeah, I was always thinking, who the fuck is buying? Surely, if you're going to play GTA 5, you've bought it 10 years ago. But there are people who have just started playing it who were 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they probably shouldn't still be playing it, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, no.
But like, there are new people coming to it, and now we are now in the position of being able to be crotchety old men moaning about how none of these current GTA 5 players appreciate San Andreas or Vice City, which I quite enjoy.
Yeah, I like being a crotchety
What
old
being
man.
the game or the crotchety old man?
Both. I mean, like, let's be honest. If you went back and played Vice City now, if you were 19 and had only played GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption, it would be impossible to play. It would be rubbish in comparison. It was great at the time, but if you actually go back and play it, like, it controls like a horse. It's impossible to drive anywhere. You can't swim. You know, it's
Hated that you can't swim.
It's
I know, it's so
difficult.
stupid.
So
It's so stupid.
It was great at the time and it's a lot of fun, but it's not, you know, it's not good by modern standards. It's good from a nostalgia point of view.
I used to
masters
love
of them were not great either.
They were
didn't
rubbish.
really do much. Yeah, they didn't do much to improve. Like a remaster
that was
should
a
make
weird
some
lapse
strides.
in sort of attention and effort by Rockstar, and I think they outsourced it. It wasn't them that did it, was it?
Well, no. Sorry, Dan, I spoke over you there, mate.
Probably, I don't know. Did you? I was going to say, the original Vice City, one of my favourite things was you come out of your mansion, you take an immediate right and just hammer it and just try and jump over the waterway into the police station.
Yeah. Never use the bridge.
Never use the bridge.
No matter what you're in, and then of course you crash into the river, or your car would land upside down, so you'd explode while you're trying to crawl out of it.
Where do we want to go to next? Everyone's seen the trailer. Everyone's done a trailer breakdown. We don't really need to do it. We know there's two protagonists. There's one called Lucia, and then there's another guy as well, Jason. I don't know.
I don't. Do you hear his name?
But like,
Good.
all I know is that people are already comparing him to the Model V from Cyberpunk because he does look and sound exactly like him. So
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
So gravel voice, gravelly, gravel.
Right. So this is what there's many things I liked about this trailer, apart from the fact that the V and the I look 4-6 look exactly like they would if it was just saying Vice, like the sign which appears saying Vice. The other thing is, I think Tom Petty.
No.
What?
Say Tom Petty. I've got a whole section on Tom Petty.
Dan's-
Don't you worry about that.
Dan's
Don't you
warming
worry about
himself
that, yeah.
up for this.
Fucking, I've done.
So-
That's the one thing I've done my homework on is that. So yeah.
Right. So I think the choice of Tom Petty was perfect.
And yet we
I
still
think
talk
he
about
appears-
it. Duncan, seriously, save it, okay? I've got a whole bit on Tom Petty.
Right.
What else did you like?
Let's shut
Mine-
that down.
About it. Okay, let's just do it now. Okay, so Tom Petty is perfect choice because Tom Petty is the perfect choice for any occasion. Tom Petty is incredible, and America love Tom Petty, but the UK doesn't. So yeah, what are you going to say? Go on, say it.
I think Tom Petty was actually on the original Vice City radio playlists. I had a bit of a look. It wasn't on any of the CD releases, but it does feature in the original Vice City radio playlists.
Oh, is it really?
That's what I was coming to. Yes,
Yeah.
I think it
Not
was a
that song,
really
though.
smart nod. Not,
Do you think it's a
not
nod?
that song, but I think I thought it was. Anyway, I felt it was a lovely connection. Yes, Tom Petty is a brilliant choice for all the reasons you put down. But that's
Right.
I thought it was potentially a smart. I might be wrong, but I thought Petty did.
He might have done, but I don't
Tom
know.
Petty
I
did-
mean, that's got nearly every
I
80
thought it
artists on that playlist. But
Yeah, well, it has, but I thought it was a perfect. Well, anyway, for me, it worked. It worked beautifully, but that's because Tom Petty would work beautifully with anything, as you say,
agree.
Dan.
Full Moon Fever is a cracking album, by the way. Listen to that. Listen to Damn the Torpedoes. I think Full Moon Fever was Jeff Lynne producing. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. Since we're going into Tom Petty, the streams for that particular track have increased 36,979%. Like, don't just
And
listen to that
is
one.
Dan
Listen to the whole-
alone.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to the whole of fucking Full Moon Fever. It is a cracking album. And it
Dan,
could
you
be
don't
it's
work
gotten
in
a bit-
HMV anymore.
It's gotten a bit more popular.
yes,
That is
it has
crazy.
got a
Like,
little more
they're
popular,
gonna. They will have obviously paid to license that track. They'll have paid significantly more to license that track to use so heavily in promotional activity, and then you're going to get a massive bump in streaming revenue as well.
To put it
Nice.
into perspective, when Linda Ronstadt was used in the trailer for Last of Us, this is on the BBC website. I'm entirely nicking this up there. She saw an increase of 4,000%. like if you want to know the enormity of what GTA is, like you're going to have teenagers who now know who Tom Petty is, who didn't know who Tom Petty was.
It's a cultural icon. I mean, for want of a better phrase, GTA 3 is arguably one of the most important video games ever because of its landmark use of 3D graphics, creating really almost single-handedly the sort of the kind of third-person open world structure that a lot of games follow. Like you can trace, even something as magnificent as The Witcher 3 right back to some of the innovations that were present in GTA 3.
And amazing they weren't like their publishers were skeptical that it was going to work, and they I think they insisted on them including an option to switch back to a top-down mode. So in GTA 3 there was a button you could press and the camera would go directly above you, and you can play it like GTA 1 and 2. But that was really only put in there as a sop to the publishers who didn't have confidence that people were going to get on board with this whole 3D thing.
I'm going to quote Tom Cardy here and say, I'm not even halfway. So the lyrics to Love is a Long Road by Tom Petty, okay? I said I got a whole bit on this. Okay, here's the lyrics to it, and they are relevant to what we see in the trailer. There was a girl I knew, she said she cared about me. She tried to make my world the way she thought it should be. Yeah, we were desperate then to have each other to hold, but love is a long, long road. Yeah, love is a long, long road. There were so many times I would wake up at noon with my head spinning round, I would wait for the moon. And give her one more chance to try and save my soul, but love is a long, long road. Yeah, love is a long, long road. But maybe one more chance to try and save my soul, but love is a long, long road. Yeah. So, like, the whole lyrics are... You see that in the trailer. That it's these two, like... It's almost like Bonnie and Clyde situation.
Very, yeah.
And it's a really good choice of song. And you almost get the feeling before they even came up with the trailer, they had this song as like an earworm. And it's... I'd like to think they were sitting there listening to Full Moon Fever, or maybe, Duncan, as you were right, maybe they were listening to the Vice City soundtrack and thought, maybe we could use another Tom Petty song.
I mean, they almost, like, they do a lot of research. And they don't just chuck a few, what do you like at the moment? Like, a lot of... You can't really criticise them for a lack of attention to detail in any aspect of what they do. Like, the world building, the mechanics, the characters, the music, the style. They put a lot of effort into all of this. Like, way more than you need to.
And it feels authentic, but it feels like, as you say, the hyper-realistic version of what we're going to see.
There's little things like they don't... they don't just... Like, most games, for places that you never need to go to in that game, it would just be House Model 3 repeated 50 times. But in GTA 5, every single house and every building is unique. And there's no repeated textures or repeated models anywhere. And they're all...
And you get that same feeling from GTA 6, because you get the whole overview. You get all the different snapshots of... You get the strip, you get the club, you get... Well, that's what the TikTok videos also are meant to do, but you've got the other neighborhoods being shown. It's just that, again, going, look what depth we've done, but we've made it sharper. And it was just it's another movie, isn't it? It's just taking another leap in the computer game movie. I do like the fact that it's they've released this trailer shortly after an article published saying young men prefer playing games than casual sex or something. And some commentators on Twitter going, "Oh, this is a worrying trend." It's like someone going, "Is it? Have you played Skyrim though?" Like, yeah, that's actually a good point.
So, Full Moon Fever by Tom Petty, right?
I'm not a third of the way.
I'm not a third of the way through. Not only features Mike Campbell, obviously on guitar, Tom Petty's long-time guitarist, Roy Orbison, George Harrison, the best Beatle. I will not be hearing arguments on that one. And it's produced by Jeff Lynne. She's got most of the Travelling Wilburys in there as well.
It's pretty good.
Jeff, you can hear that Jeff Lynne sound as well. I love it. So yeah, and apparently there was a trailer that features a song with it. I don't know.
Going back to our original confused ramblings about whether it's Florida or not, the state that it's in is called Leonida.
That's right. Yeah, they've mentioned it before as well, haven't they? in something else, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, in the original Vice City, it was in Florida.
Yeah. Was it really?
Yeah, they did. They mentioned Florida, and like there's a few, like they've mentioned Washington in like radio shows and stuff. But obviously they never mention New York or LA.
One of the things I do really, really like about it is that it still looks like Vice City, and it's technically 40 years later, and it still like has that feel to it, like the neon colors and
the way they've done like the color saturation and stuff, and like it looks like Vice City 40 years later in time, and also like 6 generations of console and technology different.
Do we have things we want to see in it? Because I've got like a list of things that I want to see.
I was trying not to just be one of those old guys. It's like, I want to see all the things that I remember. Nothing new. But like it'd be a shame if like the Malibu Club isn't there and things like that. Although, but
it's like an 80s revival club or something like that.
Yeah, but then there wasn't much
that plays exactly the same music.
So if you compare San Andreas's version of Los Santos to GTA 5, there's not a lot that carried over from one to the other.
I would like Danny Dyer in this one too. As like a washed-up drug dealer.
Which character did he play?
He was the guy in the nightclub. That's all I remember.
He's Kent Paul.
Is he Kent Paul?
Kent Paul.
Yeah, that's the guy. That is Danny Dyer, isn't it?
I'm looking it up.
I did have the Wikipedia up, so I should know. I'm nodding like I know, but I was just reading up about it.
Yeah, it's Danny Dyer.
Yeah, okay. Then I want like a washed up Kent Paul.
Because he pops up in San Andreas as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does, yeah. Also, I want whatever the porn industry that is in that one to now have become basically Pornhub. Or something similar.
The movie studio that you're going to work for.
That's regulation,
that is regulation, baby.
Yeah, or like Brazzers or something like that. Just focus on the poontang.
I still use. I will try and get in anywhere. That's regulation, baby.
I want where the tower block that you blow up. I want there to be like a memorial for all the workers that died on that. The tower block that's blown up.
But there weren't any workers that died when you blew it up because you'd already killed them all by flying that remote control helicopter into their heads.
Yeah.
I actually want another mission with
that mission.
Yeah, me too. It's fucking awful.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. I want Tommy Vercetti to live in the mansion in the middle of the in the middle island.
Yeah.
The big one.
Yeah.
There's got there must be some.
I want your
But yeah, they
actually
don't
want your defense
really
lawyer.
link them together all that much, do they?
No.
Like there was a sort of a very vague passing reference to Nico Bellic in GTA 5, but it's
Four
not like
had those
getting the
like
old
crossing
gang back together.
storylines between the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and the Damned, whatever it's
So
called.
that would be really interesting, especially if there were more protagonists than just the two we've seen so far. Because there might be like 6 playable characters, and yeah, if they did like so in 5 it was like one story that had 3 strands.
Yeah.
But if you did more of and they never quite managed to do. I think there was intended to be a 3rd expansion as well. But what they did in GTA 4, you have these completely separate stories that just intersect at a few points, and it spins everyone off in a new direction.
Because the Lost and the Damned features quite heavily in GTA 5, doesn't it? Because the person that Trevor beats the shit out of and kills is the main protagonist in the Lost and the Damned.
Yeah, and then you go and murder
Johnny,
the rest of
isn't
them.
it?
Yeah.
Well, they've become meth cooks and dealers by that point. Any glory they may have had has long since passed.
Yeah. Couple of things from the trailer. The girl in the swimming pool that everyone's going crazy over is most likely the protagonist, Lucia. Someone pointed out that in the main picture, if you look at her ankle, she's got a bracelet, an ankle bracelet on, as in she's obviously just been released from prison.
Tag.
Yeah, tag. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
Ankle tag.
yeah.
I will say that a cosplayer on Twitter pointed out that she had been tagged for the Mud Festival one, where the girl sort of goes,
Yeah.
Apparently, that character looks very much like a cosplayer person, and going, "Isn't this you? Because haven't you got exact same outfits and stuff?" So
They've done that before, and then they've gone, no. Because when
No.
Lindsay Lohan, of all people, tried to sue them for saying the person on the box art of GTA 5 looked like her, it did.
No, I don't think that. No, they weren't offended at all. They were just like that. Yeah, that looks very much like.
I sued as well.
But it's
That's
almost like
definitely my boobs.
a middle finger
Everyone
up,
could
isn't it,
look.
at them, because it's like what they're saying is we kind of got away with it. So the whole trailer at least is going to feature famous like TikTok or Instagram videos from Florida people, including like the Florida Joker. That gay.
It's like the Florida Man joke, isn't it? Like all these news stories that start with Florida Man, and then it's always like arrested while driving with his legs out the window and filleting an alligator or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
they did highlight everything that was so typically Florida, what you would call typically Florida. Obviously, we listened to a lot of last podcasts on the left, and everything in that would be, that is so Florida, because it's everything of the ridiculous stories.
I would
And,
love true crime podcasts, and all the podcasts you listen to are based around crimes that have happened from previous GTA games.
That'd be
badass.
awesome.
If there's a serial killer you consistently run into in GTA 4, isn't it? There's who eventually you end up killing. Innocently end up helping him dispose of a body in one instance. I think, like completely like.
Oh yeah, he just like helps,
innocently.
asks you to help with something.
Yeah, a package, isn't it?
I want
very
Golden
weird.
Oldies radio stations that are literally just the playlists from GTA Vice City.
Oh, it doesn't. Fernando makes an appearance in GTA 5.
Does, yeah. More Fernando would be great, actually.
I would like the option to buy more property. Like
100%. I kind of figured that's what this one would be about. Would be like the rapid expansion of like Florida area, of like you buy more property. And you don't just buy like I'm buying an apartment. You buy land, and you do what you want with the land.
one of the bits I really liked about the original Vice City game was slowly accruing an empire in Vice City, and then having somewhere where you could go and pick up cash every few in-game days or so. Is that right? I seem to remember going back to these places to pick up wads of cash that were lying around outside.
Yeah.
It's not far off what they do with online, is it? To be fair, but
no, not really. But then I think they want their big pile of dragon gold to be even bigger than it is right now. So it would make sense to make all the things that make the online world cool something that you can play at home on your own.
I also want, I the thing I'm hung up on is I need that theme park. Like, there's got to be a theme park.
You wanna
You can't have
go on a rampage.
Yes, I do.
I mean, look, we can be completely honest here. One of the major attractions of the GTA games is the ability to go ape and I mean, I love getting the highest wanted level I could possibly get and just trying to last for as long as possible before it all goes mad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if that makes me unhinged, so be it.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I'm with
It's
you.
a video game.
But the video games are kind of hit like it's a good week for video games, I think. Oh, despite all the Destiny stuff that's going on at the moment as well, all the Bungie stuff with Sony,
Yes.
which is really, really sad and really bad.
Yeah, rough.
But at the same time,
What's
we just
happening
had a playable version of Cyberpunk actually finally released. Like
Which is amazing, by the way.
It's
the new,
fucking incredible.
The new version of it is the new player trees, the character trees, the progression trees, and also in general, Phantom Liberty is a really good story and a really good addition to it. It's now a playable game. play
Yeah,
it.
they've
You'll enjoy it. It's great.
They've just released like a full version, like with the update, which includes you being able to like, ride on the subways, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool. It's very clever stuff. But it has taken a long time, and it's all the stuff that should have been was promised
in the original game.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
More than 3 years ago, isn't it?
I think it might be more than 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holly
has a lot to answer for. Night City Wire. What a load of bollocks. What a load of bollocks.
We're certainly closer to 2077 than I'd have liked for this to be playable. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also, Rogue Trader came out today, which I really want to play.
Yeah, it looks quite good, actually, doesn't
the
it?
40k game. Yeah.
All the reviews are that it's okay. All the reviews, as in I listened to Ad Rick and they've been playing a version of it. And
yeah, I'm with you.
Bricky's kind of loving it.
Yeah.
It's on Steam.
There you go.
What's it about?
Rogue Traders.
Anyone like it?
Have we got time to describe Rogue Traders?
No, we haven't, because it's already past 10.
No,
I want to go to bed at some point.
It's like you're kind of like a slightly legitimized pirate captain noble explorer.
So like when Commander Privateer.
Document.
Yeah, there you go.
A privateer is probably a good way of putting it. So you're sort of like you're not part of the government, but you're kind of government accredited, and you're allowed to go out and do shit that other people aren't allowed to do.
That includes putting a team together. You can also requisition people to come join your team. So you can say, I need useful, like, it's heresy to have an Eldar on your team, but a rogue trader can get away with it. That's fine.
You can work with it. You're allowed to talk to aliens without shooting them in the face first.
Yeah,
which is that's
you're allowed to.
That's a real stretch of the rules.
You're allowed to make trade deals.
Sisters of Battlegate wouldn't go this way. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh, they've landed on the planet. Oh,
but you're allowed a sister. You're allowed
a sister of battle. Exactly. Yeah. Who must be just like
a space marine.
I always equate the Sisters of Battle to Blackadder's aunt from season 2.
Yeah, pretty low on sense of humour.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So they are fucking awesome though. So
anyway, getting back to GTA 6.
Yes.
What are some things that you do not want to see?
I don't want to see anyone that's constantly asking me to go play darts or bowling or drive him places.
Or ringing up and going, Gazin!
Yeah.
None of that.
Only for him to fuck me over at the end of it all. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah. Although it was
goddamn son of a bitch.
There was like all the dating that you could do in San Andreas as well, which it sort of just feels like a lot of hard work.
I don't want a game
going to the gym and doing weight training to bulk Carl up. Like, I ain't doing that.
Oh, but I thought that was quite cool. The way you could go from being like quite shrimpy to completely jacked, and if you ate too much, you would just puke all over the restaurant.
With your little beer gut hanging out like Mac of your little white vest.
Yeah, you could go full fat Mac. You could do the full Mac spectrum with your character.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that more now because of that reference.
In all seriousness, I don't want something that's just a vehicle for the online game.
Yeah, I think that's my main concern. I don't think they will.
I mean, I legitimately don't think
it's like you look at how much money they've made from GTA Online, and it's got to be hard not to just do that more.
Well, to put it into perspective, Red Dead Redemption, right? You've got that gives me some hope. Actually, that's a pretty beefy game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, big beefy game.
I was worried. There's like 10 minutes of single player story time, and it's like, right, let's set you up for an online account.
Yeah, that's
done. You finished it. It was good, wasn't it? Right,
congrats.
Come on, online. Let's go. Multiplayer.
Like, for example, I don't like the fact that Halo Infinite, if I want to play single player, when I load it up on my PC, it takes me straight to the multiplayer lobby, and I then have to go into the menu to go select campaign, and then it has to reload the game.
You have to select lone loser mode.
Do we think
really
that
annoying.
Actually what it is that we're just old?
Oh yeah, and
everyone loves GTA Online. Everyone loves Halo Infinite's multiplayer.
They don't. Like, certain people love it, but you've got to plow a huge amount of time into it. for it to really, like, people already have for quite a while been complaining about how hard it is to now do anything in GTA Online, because there's now this, just like the real world, there's now massive wealth inequality. So there's people that have been doing it for years and have got hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and then normal people just can't do anything because as soon as you step out of your house, somebody on a fucking laser jet bike will come along and nuke you. So it's really, like, it has probably reached the point where it has to have a hard reset anyway.
What I would say is Red Dead Redemption Online is a lot of fun. So, like, and one of the things I quite liked was that they eventually just released that on its own. So you got Red Dead Redemption Online, or you can get the whole package, which comes with the Red Dead Redemption 2. So it says to me that they are perfectly willing to do the whole online thing, but also at the same time put together a compelling storyline. Red Dead Redemption 2 gives me hope that they're not just going to do that for GTA 6.
I still need to get around to finishing Red Dead
at
some point.
I have a plan. I would like. I'd like just a full game. And although everything I've just said, I also would be fine if they didn't lean too much into the nostalgia of Vice City.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they need to.
I'm sure there'll be some like washed up 80s rejects lying like around somewhere, but it, you know, it's not. I don't think that's what it'll be.
I would like
Yeah.
more intentional verticality in the city,
It's a good
if
one,
you know what I
Tom.
mean.
So
like,
what a great wanky sounding phrase that makes you sound like you know a lot about what you're talking about.
But also, I agree.
speaking as a seasoned
Well, I feel like
games
at
developer,
work you could just go, guys, have we
we thought about
is there
verticality.
enough intentional verticality in this?
What does that mean?
Need to...
Work it out, guys. Work it out, and I'll get back to
Work
you.
it out. I'm gonna need answers on my desk by the end of the day. Well, what I mean by that is more, like planes and skyscrapers and all that kind of stuff exists, but like there's a certain point where buildings stop being accessible and you can only stand on top of them and things like that. Like, I remember there was a great scene in GTA 5 where I think as Michael and it's Michael, Trevor, and what's the other guy's name?
Franklin.
I knew it was Frank. I couldn't remember it was Franklin. And they're infiltrating that social media company.
So good.
And they go up in the elevator while one of them is going up as a window cleaner, and it was just this. I know they can't render.
It was the bank.
They can't render floors for. It was a bank, was it?
Well, no, it was the FBI
or
something.
I think it was a social media.
It was.
company.
It was one of the heist
the social
set
media,
pieces, wasn't it?
anyway,
Yeah.
There is
one
one
of
where
the
they invade
joint
Life
heists.
Invader. Yeah.
Life Invader. That's it. Yeah, there is a mission where they do that as well. But it was like
But
it was
it's
just
Michael only, I
interesting
think.
to. It was interesting to see the city from that level in an intentional way. That it was a building you were in, and you could go onto the floors and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
there
I
will
know that's
probably
very
be a bit more of
difficult.
that.
I know that's very difficult to do, but it felt far more real and immersive.
Yeah.
Being able
Yeah.
to like kind of go up, and I know they can fake a lot of this stuff, and I just don't think they need to have. There are games that have a sense of verticality, like you can see into the windows of things, not necessarily that you'll get into that area.
Well,
but
so
you
that
can
that
see...
kind of thing is doable now. So like Spider-Man does that, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It does.
The
very
windows aren't just these sort of weird, shiny black squares. You can kind of see into every single apartment. But then, like the way you kind of do that is with this sort of like generative, what's it called? Where stuff's just like created on the fly. What's the term for that?
well. Streaming.
No, never mind. There's a proper word for it.
Procedurally generated.
Procedural generation, that's it. Which kind of goes against a lot of the design philosophy of the GTA games, where everything is very crafted and made deliberately. So if they're going to do the interior of a building, they design the interior of that building. They don't just go algorithm generate me a building interior. So
Okay, fair dues.
So there's no way you're going to be able to go into every building in the city, because that's just not possible without it being that you open the door and there's just like a randomly generated 3 rooms in there that might be different the next time you go in, which I don't think they would go for.
I think it's just the sense of scale for me. It's that kind of you know, if we're going to call this a go anywhere, do anything kind of sim, it would be great to literally be able to go anywhere.
I'm sure there will be a lot. Like, if you look at the leap between each of the big numbered games, that kind of thing, things like the density of traffic and people, the way they behave. So, like in GTA 5, 2 pedestrians would bump into each other on the street and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's quite crazy. How can that work? You can't pre-script it. You don't know who these two people are, or that the player's going to see them bump into each other at that particular time. But they managed to get, so there's obviously like response 1, 2, 3, and 4 for each NPC.
So Spider-Man's done a lot of
that
work with
kind of
as
thing
well.
is going to get more and more and more developed and complex. And there's 10 years worth of development since GTA 5 came out. So I'm sure they're going to do a lot to get that sense of scale and sort of real lifeness. It's not a word, is it?
Yeah.
Like reality would probably have done.
It is now.
There we go. Reality, yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
So yeah, pretty exciting.
Excited,
you have to buy a fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a couple of years though, man.
subscription.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to be on. It's not going to be on cloud gaming, is it?
No, no chance.
This is the other thing, isn't it? Like, they've done this. They've released this now, and Emma was a bit confused by why have they released it now? It's not coming out until 2025. It's like so many reasons, guess. Everyone talking means people can buy it again. But also, it puts anyone who's developing a new console, another generation of console, a bit on notice going, there's going to be this game potentially available.
I think they'll already know about it. I think those discussions
Well, they probably
happen
would,
years
but
in advance.
But it does also
mean
put
that
everyone...
So that it's the PS5 and the Xbox One. What's it called? The Xbox
Series
One
X. No, Series X.
Sorry, the Xbox Series
X
is what's going to come out on. So that's going to give them at least a few more years of currency. But yeah, the big question: will it be on Game Pass?
No.
Very
No.
unlikely.
Why would it be?
Rockstar like money.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever released anything on Game Pass.
I mean, GTA 5 is on Game Pass now, but GTA
Is
5
it?
on
Are you sure?
everything.
Yeah. But now, way after it was first launched.
Is it definitely on Game Pass?
Yeah, I've been playing it on cloud gaming.
Have you really? Is it on?
They had it on Game Pass.
Is it? Oh, yeah, give me a second.
You can even choose if you want to play the Xbox One or the Xbox One X version.
Oh, continental breakfast.
And
Not a fork, not a spoon, but something in between. A fapoon.
Did I tell you guys how
well done, Germany.
Did I tell you guys how I went to see at The Shining at the cinema, which is something I have. Oh my god, would you look at that? That's fucking beautiful. I did not realise that. Oh, I love it.
One day Skyrim will pop up on there and we won't have to buy it anymore.
No, mate, now's the time to get it. Black Friday deal. If it's still on, we might have missed our opportunity. Black Friday deal on Switch. Okay,
to buy
50%
Skyrim
off.
again.
It's now only $24.99 on Switch.
What a crock. What an absolute rip-off.
You could probably get it
Fucking
for
hell,
£3 on Steam. But yeah.
Nintendo just have the most bizarre idea of what a discount is, don't they? They're just like, but it's new for us.
It's a
Like,
real novel approach to like competition as well, of just sort of ignoring them and pretending they don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, I can get that for £2 on the PC. On the what?
Yeah.
No, never heard of it.
No, never heard of them. No.
Oh mate,
No,
we missed our opportunity. It's back up to $49.99 now on Switch.
no, you're kidding me. Skyrim.
Like
£50 on Switch.
that is what GTA 6 is going to cost when it comes out, and they are still managing to do that for Skyrim.
Yeah, let me have a look. Skyrim Steam. Let's have a look. It might have gone back up because everyone already owns it. I can get a CD key for £3.79 for starters.
You shouldn't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah, enter a valid date. They asked me what my date of birth was. I said it's the 1st of January 2023, and it didn't believe me. Okay, 1943. That'll do. If you paid a second. On Steam, the special edition, to be fair, is £34.99. But I know that goes down in price to about £5. So like,
it's like paying full price at a Pizza Express.
yeah,
You just don't do it.
yeah, unless you're royalty,
Yeah.
and you don't want people to know you're there for whatever reason that might be.
Just doesn't find it sweat. He just doesn't sweat.
Doesn't have to be
Like,
nonce.
no sweat to get.
Doesn't have to be noncing.
No. It's
I don't
no
know
sweat
if-
for him
I don't
to
know
get a
if two
discount.
nonce is a verb.
Two nonce. He nonced. He nonced in a Pizza Express, maybe, allegedly, without sweating. Yeah. Allegedly. Right?
Not a fork.
Yeah, well,
Not a spoon, but something else. Something in
else.
between.
Something in between.
A fapoon.
you need to
Oh,
tick
that's what I was
anything else
saying.
off on the TM.
Yeah. I went to see The Shining at the cinema, and
Oh, yeah.
that film is entirely ruined by that sketch. And you know what? I don't give a shit. I still love it.
I don't care.
Like when it cuts to the picture that of him at the New Year's like celebration. All I'm thinking is first continental breakfast with him sitting there just the whole time. And every time he goes in the dining room, continental breakfast. Mm. One for
You just
the
help yourself, sir.
continental breakfast. European style.
Yeah.
Hmm.
One for the continental breakfast. You just help yourself, sir.
It's so good.
La-dee-da.
I love being incontinent.
Yeah, incontinent.
Can you believe it? It comes with the room.
What will they think of next, Germany? No, what will you think of next, Germany?
The Danish, clearly from Brussels.
Oh dear. Right, are we?
God, that's great.
Are
I
we
think that's
wrapping this?
time. Yeah. You know
Let's
when
call
we
it
start
time.
quoting the continental breakfast, we don't even get to Gremlins 2. G2, baby.
This is G2, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, look, with that in mind,
So
Let's,
overall, pretty excited.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty excited for GTA 6. We didn't really break the trailer down.
I don't think we need
Well,
to break
there's
trailer
not
down.
much
No.
to break down in the trailer because it's not a story trailer, is it? It's
It's mad. It looks
you know,
amazing and,
so
and brilliant.
two
We
protagonists
think-
seen so far. Looks
Yeah.
like Lucia gets out of prison at some point. Very
Social
Bonnie and
media
Clyde
happens.
vibes. There we go.
Yeah, GTA. Brilliant.
Someone releases a gator in a shop, which probably happened. A gator definitely walks
there's
in.
there's
many
videos
on
offensive
YouTube
stuff.
showing all of the real TikTok videos that those are taken from. So like the racist
Nice.
woman holding two hammers, and the the person wrestling an alligator out of their swimming pool and things like that. They're all based on real social media things.
Very, very nice. Okay, look, well, on that note, sorry, while I rub my eye because it's been a long day, long old day. You've heard it all. We've talked about it for a bit. If you want to interact with us, you want to share your views, news, and whatever else, please do hit us up on social media. Use the handle at TMTOOH on Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to hit us up on Discord, go to the Instagram bio and go into there, and you'll find the link to the Discord server where there's loads of conversations going on all over the place. If you've watched this on the stream, thank you very much. Brilliant. This will probably go up on podcatchers and stuff at some point in the future. So if you've just listened to it, don't worry about that. You've just listened to it. It's not going up in the future. This is for people on the stream right now. It'll go up on the audio in the future. But there's plenty to listen to at the moment, including one that I've listened to, which is the audio commentary that Russ, Dan, and myself did to Attack of the Clones.
Why?
Which is hilarious because we all lost interest about half an hour in and then suddenly got some interest back when the Clone Wars started. It's absolutely brilliant and it made me laugh and chuckle all the way through. So there we go. There's not much else to do apart from say goodbye, Dan.
Oh, goodbye, man.
Goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Russ.
Goodbye, Russ.
And goodbye from me, Tom. And on that note, Russ, get ready, get your finger ready. Let's cue the music.
Boom.